Hey guys, Arjifantes here, and this is my walkthrough of tutorial mission 14. So usually in a game of Prismata, you don't want to get breached. If you get breached, your opponents can kill your drones and other vulnerable units, and you're most likely going to lose the game. However, there are units in the game that allows you to play a strategy where you just don't care about getting breached at all. And this set is perfect for that sort of strategy. First we see there's Wild Drone, which produces 2 gold and costs 5 and 2 energy. So usually when you buy 2 drones, it produces 2 gold and it costs 6 and 2 energy. So Wild Drone is just 1 cheaper. The drawback is it has front line, which means it can be attacked directly. So your opponents can attack your econ without having to go through your defenders. But since we're not actually planning on buying defenders anyways, we can just buy a Wild Drone. And the frontline ability doesn't really matter, I guess. And from this point, we are going to buy another Wild Drone and a Conduit. And this is the crux of the strategy. With Trinity Drone, we actually get to turn our drones into very high health units that are very difficult to kill. Trinity Drone sacrifices 2 drones, and it produces 3 gold a turn. So it's like an additional drone, but it also sort of protects the 2 drones that it sacrifices. So it's just 3 drones in 1. And then with remaining gold, we can buy a Conduit and another drone. Now note that this set has a lot of high green cost units, so we are going to build quite a few Conduits. This turn I just buy 2 Trinity drones, and basically all of our drones are converted at this point. Unfortunately, we won't be able to convert the last one, but I can buy 2 Conduits this turn. Now note, Trinity Drone requires 2 drones to sacrifice in order to buy it, so this last drone will kind of be dangling there awkwardly for a little bit. However, with this amount of gold, I'm going to buy a Gauss fabricator. We have exactly 4 gold, so Gauss fabricator is perfect here. And this is just an efficient way to assemble attack. It's very slow, but we have plenty of time, we have plenty of health. Things are going to work out just fine. His Isochronous, of course, will be able to kill our 2 engineers, but once again, we don't care. We're not going to be defending at all this game. With our remaining gold, we're going to buy 3 Isochronous. So it's just kind of like a cheaper Gauss cannon. The drawback, of course, is it only attacks every other turn. So it costs 5 and a green, and it does 2 damage every other turn, which averages out to 1 damage a turn. In most circumstances, the unit is slightly better than Gauss cannon, but there are cases where you just want to do 1 damage immediately. In those cases, Gauss cannon is better. But I'm just using these Isochronous as basically a cheaper Gauss cannon. If I only had Gauss cannons to work with, I would not have been able to buy 3 this turn, since I only had 15 gold, but this works out pretty well. And because most of my drones are very high health, I just don't care that much about my opponent killing my drones. Here we get to kill his Wild Drone, and I'm just going to keep on buying high HP attackers, like Isochronous. And my Fabricator is also assembling Gauss cannons every turn. So now I actually exhausted my Isochronous supply, so I'm just going to buy the only remaining high HP attacker, which is Gauss Cannon. And note that I'm just not defending at all. I don't really care. All my units have such high health that it's going to take my opponent a very, very long time if he wants to even kill them. So I have plenty of time to just buy more stuff. And here, I can only buy 1 Gauss cannon. I don't have enough gold, so I'm just going to buy a Conduit with the remaining money. And I get to breach for exact, which is pretty nice. And 2 more Gauss cannons. Get to breach again and kill all his drones. And now I have 16 green. So we can use this green to buy Cluster Bolt. Cluster Bolt is a very interesting unit. It doesn't cost any gold, and it's a temporary burst of damage. It constructs 5 Gauss charges for you and 2 Gauss charges for your opponent. So you're giving your opponent a little bit of damage. But once again, because we have such high health, we don't care. What we care about is each Cluster Bolt lets us do 5 additional damage the following turn. So I'm just going to buy 4 Cluster Bolts with our saved up green. And this is going to wipe out a lot of our opponent's stuff. Get to kill all his Isochronous and the majority of his Gauss cannons. Remaining money I'm just going to spend on conduits. And now I'm going to buy 3 more cluster bolts. And finally, we kill his Gauss cannon, his Trinity Drone, Blast Forge, conduits, and he's pretty much dead. Alright, so this is just a very cool strategy you can do when you have very high health units like Trinity Drone and Gauss cannon. It works really well when you have Trinity Drone. Otherwise, your opponents can just kill your drones and then survive long enough to pick away at your Gauss cannon. But with Trinity Drones, you just have so much HP, it's very hard for your opponent to deal with. And stuff like Cluster Bolt makes it even easier because even after your opponents kill all your drones, you can still pester them by buying Cluster Bolts whenever. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.